Hi, I'm Chef Cody, and welcome to Catch the Spirit. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oak Mountain Winery. And today we're going to be doing some very, very interesting things. We have a really nice pizza that we're going to be doing. Also, we're going to be doing an interesting Chislic, which is Indian for skewered meat. And we've got some lamb here that we're going to be working with. But first, let me get the sauce going for the Chislic. And as I do that, I'll tell you some of the other things that we're doing. Now, we're also going to be doing a lot of different canopies. We've got a really nice salmon canopy, and then we're going to switch over and do a nice chicken canopy, and then we're going to do a basic cucumber slice with cream cheese and some dill. But to get the sauce started, we're going to go ahead. We've got raspberries and blackberries here, and we're working with the Field Blend wine, which is one of the best wines that I've tasted here at Oak Mountain.
Very nice.
And we're going to go ahead. That's nice. Now this sauce is really interesting because to finish this sauce, we're actually, once the sauce comes to a boil and reduced by half, we're going to be finishing it with, believe it or not, cocoa milk. And I know that sounds really interesting, but when you taste it, if you guys ever get a chance to taste it, I think you'll fall in love with it. Now, I've got the pizza started right here. I've got two started. And the reason why I do this is to just kind of give them a little heat. And then we're going to actually do them on the grill. So that'll be pretty interesting. And then I'll just go ahead and show you how to do the pizza right now. And here we go, real quick. This is basically just rolling out a crust. If you want to get fancy, you can always flip it, but, you know, I'm not doing that because it gets messy. Here we go. There you go. Now that's a beautiful crust. And then we're just going to go ahead, take a fork, tap it all the way around. That stops it from shrinking. The poking of it's actually referred to as piercing. The piercing of the dough actually stops it from shrinking. You've ever seen where you get these big bumps? Yeah. That'll prevent that completely. Air bubbles. Yeah, air bubbles. And then we're just going to take this dough. I'm switching out. And I'm going to go ahead and let this one just rest there for a minute. Now, we've got some really interesting oils here that you can find here at Oak Mountain. This is a roasted chili avocado oil. And it's going to be very interesting on this pizza. Wow. And you can see how pretty the color is. Wow. Then we're just going to go just like so, all over the pizza crust. And don't be afraid if you get too much. This is one of those things you never get too much of. I promise you that. And then we're just going to coat that nicely like so. Then we have, now I'm doing sun-dried tomatoes and tomatoes for the people that have the recipes in the audience. I actually decided to go with both tomatoes.
Wow, that looks nice.
Beautiful, beautiful, chef.
Thank you. Sorry about the mess, but I think you guys are going to enjoy the food. And the wines are excellent. The reason why I'm doing so many different types of food today is because they pair so well. The wines here pair so well with so many things. And it's really kind of surprising. You know, people really don't think about doing something as simple as a pizza with a nice white wine, but this is going to be fantastic. And then the canopies are really going to just blow you guys away. Then we got our sun-dried tomatoes on there. And I actually took the time today to roast some red onion. Now, I don't know if this is on the recipe or not. Linda, my wife, types up all the recipes, and then I change them. But, I mean, it's a pizza. Have fun with it. Do whatever you feel you would like on a pizza. And like I said, the roasted red onions, and all I did was I just put them on the grill for approximately 10 minutes on each side. Then we got some fresh basil. And I'm going to make 2 more pizzas after the show, so people in the audience, don't worry about the pizza all being gone before you get a chance to eat. And then we're just going to go ahead and put some fresh basil on these. And the flowers on the basil is 100% edible, obviously, but they also have a different flavor than the leaves. So if you ever get basil with the flowers on it, don't be afraid of using it. I think actually it tastes better to me, personally.
I've never used the flowers.
Try it. I think you'll really appreciate it. I'm sorry.
I have lots of.
And then we've got some buffalo mozzarella here. And we're just going to go ahead. And don't be afraid to cut it thin. You know, cut it thin, and then you can just do it quick. Now, I actually was going to do this. They have a beautiful fireplace here, and I actually was going to do these pizzas in the fireplace, but I decided to do it on my grill. I want to show you guys that pizzas can be done outdoors. They can be done indoors in an oven. Just have fun with pizzas. But it would have been fun to do it on the fireplace, but I was kind of worried. I didn't know their fireplace too well, so. Okay, now. We've got those pizzas ready to go in the oven. A little bit of black pepper. And we're going to leave the grill open while the pizzas are cooking. And then at the last minute, we're going to close it. Now, that's why the way that I'm picking these up is the reason why we pre-cooked the dough just a little bit. That way, they won't fall apart on you when you pick them up like this. Well, let me try. See how many tools I bring with me? This one's a little looser than the other one.
Duct tape.
Duct tape works for everything. Okay. Then we're just going to put those on and let those go to town.
How would you like to have Chef Cody cook for you? Food is prepared on-site by award-winning personal chef service, Manhattan Catering. Available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in your home or at your office. You choose the menu. Ask about our personal cooking classes. The world's finest cuisines are available to you by calling 760-587-8939 or visit ManhattanCateringLLC.com.
we're going to be working with a very interesting dish. It's called Chislic. And Chislic sounds like an interesting word, but it's basically just a South Dakota word. The native Indians, basically, this is what they refer to as skewered meat. They refer to as Chislic. And we're going to be marinating this in a little bit of wine. And as you can see, I'm kind of heavy with the pepper. I love the pepper. And then we have some garlic oil here. And this is one of my secrets. You're going to see this on every show. But for the people in the audience, what I basically do is I just buy garlic and I soak it for weeks at a time, months or whatever. And I get this really, really tasty garlic oil, and it's delicious.
Is it olive oil?
Yeah, well, it's a mixture. It's actually a blend.
Okay.
Olive oil and canola oil.
Okay.
Here we go. And then I've got the wine, and we are using the filled blend again. And we're going to finish with a little bit of salt. And this is sea salt. I've got some dried parsley. And you always, if you're doing a marinade, it's nice to have fresh herbs for certain things. But when you're working with a marinade, and I also have some dried basil here, but it's really kind of funny because the dried herbs actually give you more flavor when it comes to a marinade. And then we're just going to toss these around for a second. And this marinade is only like a 10-minute marinade. It's nice and quick. Then it's done. And as I was about to say, now the pizzas are just about there. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to move them just a little bit.
How hot is that?
What?
How hot is the grill?
The grill is about 450. Now, the secret is when you're grilling, like if you're going to do pizzas, there's a major secret here. You heat the grill up as high as it can go and you keep it open while it's cooking. And then when you start introducing other things like this chiseling, then you close it and the pizza will only take like 5 to 10 minutes and the chiseling will be perfect at the same time. And I'm just going to put a few skewers on. And then I'll cook the rest later for the audience. Right now, the grill is reading 225, but that'll be perfect. Now, as it starts to really start to go, once it's closed, it'll go up to, this grill actually goes up to about 700. But I'll pull the pizza way before then. Let me show you that the sauce for the Chislic is starting to reduce, but you don't want to break up the berries, okay? You want to keep the berries as full as possible. Okay, obviously they're going to separate a little bit and start breaking down a little bit. But don't worry about that. That's actually a good thing. Oh yeah. We got some serious smell-o-vision going on here. Oh yeah. Nice deep dish, thick crust pizza. Now, we're just gonna open the coconut milk. Now you can use fresh if you'd like. What I find the problem with fresh is you never know what the consistency is gonna be. Okay, sometimes you get a nice texture and sometimes you don't. But now, just pour that straight in like that. Don't be afraid of it. Now we're just gonna let this come to a major boil, and it's gonna thicken itself because of the coconut milk. Now you've got the sweetness from the berries, you've got the sweetness from the coconut, and then you've got the tasty lamb. So I think you guys can realize how sweet, how delicious this is gonna be. Now we're gonna bring up the owner and the winemaker, and also his lovely wife, Valerie. We've got Steve and Valerie. Come on over, guys. Steve, tell us about the wines that we're working with today. We've got a couple really interesting products that I'm really
Well, the first wine that we're working with is a white wine that we call For Pete's Sake White.
Now that's an interesting, why do you call this For Pete's Sake?
For Pete's Sake has kind of an unusual story. We have a dog that was diagnosed with diabetes. It made us very aware of canine diabetes and also in cats.
Really?
My wife is so interested in it that she started the Cause for Paws organization, which what they do is they supply testing equipment and insulin for folks that can't afford it.
For animals or for humans too?
No, just for animals.
Oh,
We found
that's sweet. Put that back there. And
we hold a fundraiser once a year here,
Oh,
and
do you?
to raise money for the cause. Also, this wine, a portion of the sales of this wine goes to the foundation for to pay for all the testing equipment and the insulin.
oh, okay, beautiful. And
My name is Bruce Antonoff, owner of California Chauffeur Corporation. We'll take you to your destination in style. Why struggle with airport parking? California Chauffeur provides personal, non-stop ground transportation. Call today, 619-252-5244.
the next wine that we're going to be using, we've got the Cabernet Franc, which actually, guys, one of the secrets to the Chislic, what really makes it good, is a little bit of Franc in there as well.
That looks good.
And as you can see, I'm pouring you both a glass of all your wines because I want you guys to sample the actual food with the wine that we're pairing it with. And so you can tell the audience how good it is. Or if you die, then they'll know not to eat it at home. Okay, these pizzas are just about perfect. And you notice now they're coming up with one hand, one spatula, and I'm just going to bring this over. Here we go. Now, isn't that lovely? Yeah. You just want half?
We can start with that.
I tell you what, I'm going to cut it a little small now, but now, tell me the story on the Franc, please.
Cabernet Franc is one of my wife and my favorite wines. We went to a lot of trouble here at this winery to plant our Cabernet Franc.
So these grapes actually come from here?
Yes, this is our estate grapes. We've experimented with different plantings, and we do a specialized, we've put in double density in our vineyards so that we have twice as many plants as normal.
Really?
By doing that, we've been able to intensify the flavors. We don't grow as many berries on each plant, so that each plant just works off of 6 or 8 clusters of grapes so that it's able to produce a much higher quality grape.
Now we have one last wine that we're going to. Now don't forget to try it with the pizza.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And we've
It
got.
really is fantastic.
Yes, good.
Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And you notice you can taste the smokiness on the crust. That's the secret to doing a crust on the grill or in a fireplace. But I was going to use your fireplace. I was like, I just didn't trust it.
This is fantastic.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. And now, the next wine is the filled blend. And we're going to go ahead and pour that. And what exactly are the combinations here that you're utilizing?
Okay, now what a field blend is, that's a wine that the vineyard is planted with the blend. As a winemaker, normally if I do a blended wine, I'll ferment all the different wines, taste them, blend them together, and make the blend. In this case, this vineyard was planted with this blend in mind.
Oh, really?
And when we, overall average of the grapes are ripe, we pick the whole vineyard at one time and just make the wine as a soup, rather
Really?
than blending it later.
Oh, okay, that's really interesting. I would have never even thought about doing something like that. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put you guys to work. But try the filled blend. Here, just put that right here. And I'm going to dip a couple Chislics in the sauce. The sauce isn't quite ready yet, but you'll get the complete idea. One for each.
Wow.
Now tell me honestly what you think. Now this is pure lamb. You're going to get the sweetness from the berries.
Great.
Okay, and then you've got that honey. Well, it's not the honey, but the cocoa butter. You've got the sweetness of the cocoa butter, and with the lamb, it's a great combination. But you got to try it with the filled blend. I think you're going to really appreciate that. And you can also try it with the franc.
That's great.
It's a great combination.
That works for me.
Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some can of peas. And no, we're not going to open cans of peas. Everybody always says, why are you opening cans of peas? So, now, the first thing we're going to do is cucumber and dill canopy. How are you guys with a pastry bag?
I think my wife's probably better at that than I am.
No.
I'll do it. Okay, here's the first canopy, which is cucumber and dill. And this is delicious. And the secret to finishing this, believe it or not, everybody's always surprised on how simple this is to finish. There you go. A little bit of fresh cracked pepper. And there you go. Okay. Now the next thing is, I need some croutons. The next thing is, I'm going to do 4 or 5 of each. These are strictly for you guys. Everybody else has theirs already ready. But first thing, let's do a little bit of chicken mousse. Well, this is salmon mousse. Now, all these recipes are on your website, on our website, and it's going to be on your website as well, I hope. And then we're just going to, ooh. Now, all of these are to go with the For Pete's Sake white. Tell us about what is exactly in the For Pete's Sake red.
For Pete's Sake Red is another one of the wines that we do for the Cause for Pause. It changes from year to year. This last vintage that we just bottled is Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot.
And
Really?
It's got a silver medal.
And it just got a silver medal.
Can I have one of those? And then we got some some salmon mousse here. Now we're going to finish the salmon mousse. Very, very interesting with a little bit of caviar.
Love it.
and then a little bit of chive. Now, all you people that aren't familiar with caviar, and the people that aren't familiar with caviar, I really do feel sorry for you. But basically fish eggs. This is sturgeon, of course. And that sauce is just coming for the lamb. And then we have, you guys didn't see this. Merry Christmas. And then we're going to finish with a little bit of fresh chive. Take that caviar home.
Let's hide this over here.
And then, to finish the chicken, now we actually poached the chicken and, for Pete's sake, wine, okay? And then we're going to put a little bit of apricot on it. And we also soaked the apricots in for Pete's sake as well. So you're gonna get drunk off of this. And I'm just gonna put chives on these too. I'm also gonna put a little bit of dill on the salmon as well. But go ahead and give these a try and tell me what you think.
Yeah, I think that salmon's calling our name.
Yeah, that's.
There you go. I'm gonna try one with you.
Real pretty. Very good.
Oh, incredible. The cucumber seems to bring out kind of a citrusy element in this wine that normally you don't pick up.
Well, I didn't tell you one ingredient that you'll find in the recipe, and that's lemon zest and also a little bit of fresh lemon juice.
All right.
Which I did that intentionally because I wanted to see if you would notice that it would pick up the citrus in the wine.
It does. I mean,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Thank you very much for watching the show today, and we'll see you next week. Thank you very much for tuning in.